hot for TV.
Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. It's the Doctor Who Too Hot for TV Christmas special, and here we are in January.
Yeah, let's call it a winter special.
A seasonal special.
Yes.
So here we are. The festivities are done. You know, there's no Baileys flowing.
No.
There's no mince pies. I've just eaten a couple of after eights from the last box of after eights. I say the last, like we had 47 boxes of after eights.
I've had a chicken Kiev.
You've had chicken Kiev. Bloody Christmas done, eight. It's
Yeah.
great, eight. So Christmas happened.
Yeah.
Doctor Who Flux finished.
Yes, it did.
And we got Eve of the Daleks.
Yes, yeah.
In a couple of sentences, tell us what you thought of the end of Flux and Eve of the Daleks.
Flux was a very complicated end, and Eve of the Daleks was Marianne Keyes meets Groundhog Day.
Fair.
Yeah.
Excited about Thasmin?
What's Thasmin?
Thasmin, 13 and Yasmin.
Oh, that's why people use that word. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm up for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't do this sooner.
Me too. It was kind of hinted at a little bit, wasn't it, in the last Christmas special,
Yeah.
New Year's special, sorry.
Nobody snogs in Doctor Who anymore.
No, I know.
I think I hope they get one in before they end.
Yeah.
Because when Russell comes back, everyone's going to be fucking...
Very true, very true. I enjoyed it all.
Yeah.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the most exciting thing that's happened in Doctor Who is that the Sea Devils are coming back.
Yes. Yeah.
I still spend a good portion of my day just checking that picture again and again of the Sea Devils. What do we think?
Yeah, no, I was at the point where I just thought there's no way they're ever going to bring back any other old monsters.
Really?
And I just thought they're kind of done with it. Oh. And oh no, fishy man. Yeah, no, I hope they're good.
So do I. Do you think they'll keep that kind of whispering?
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to sound.
Do you think they'll make that weird screaming sound?
I hope they have the same guns, those little round thingy-mabobs.
I, for one, hope they have the same music.
Yeah. I hope they look good swimming, because they're obviously going to do that. They're set at sea, so I wonder how they're going to look swimming.
Have we ever seen them swim?
They walk out of the sea like men in rubber suits.
Of course.
But I wonder how they swim.
Well, I imagine elegantly and quickly.
Yeah.
Well, we've got all that to look forward to in Easter. So come back for the Easter special. So Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. I thought we'd try something a little different.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at the ghosts of Christmas past,
yes,
present, and future.
Okay.
But I've got some videos that I thought, a video I thought I'd share with the group, and I wanted to talk about this. I'll put this in the show notes, the link to the video. I just wanted to get your reaction and talk about the past, Jack.
Yes.
So I'd like to take you back to about 1996 to be precise.
Yes.
Do you remember 96?
Yes, I was 6.
Yeah.
Very stressful time.
So there was... It was the most stressful year of your life. So we went to a Doctor Who convention in Birmingham around that time called AleCon.
Okay.
And I found a little clip of it.
Yeah.
And I've sort of split it into 3.
Okay.
And, maybe we'll just have a talk about it. Maybe we've got nothing to say on it, but who knows? But it was just a little bit of 90s that came flooding back to me, so I thought you might want to have a look.
Okay, yeah, no, this is good. This is the chase and the bit at the beginning when they get around the time-space visualizer.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Why was it called AleCon? Was it based around ale?
No,
drink?
It was originally in Aylesbury.
Okay.
But they moved it to Birmingham, but didn't want to change the name of the event.
To Brumcon.
To Brumcon, exactly.
Okay.
So here is a little clip from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Ooh.
Visiting a Birmingham Doctor Who convention, and I want to know whether it whether it brings any memories.
Talking to organisers and attendees, we got both sides of the convention story.
We've got various guest doctors, companions, production crew.
They're coming here to get a little personal contact with the people in the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Baker.
Morning.
There's an exhibition which is supplied by BBC Visual Effects and various fans who've collected props from the show over the years. We've got autograph sessions, photo sessions. There's a dealer's room where they can buy all manner of Doctor Who merchandise. Whether it was produced in the 60s or the 90s, there's 30 years worth of merchandise on sale.
It's good to talk to the actors and find out things that they did before they become the doctors or companions.
I've met someone literally just 5 minutes ago who said, I've wanted to meet you all my life. And he's quite old now.
Well, I like going to conventions generally. It's nice to meet people with similar interests.
You can see how much people are into it by the prices they bid at the auction.
£95. You can't get these anywhere else.
Quite a fun convention. Enjoying it rather a lot, you know. Catch up with old friends and that kind of thing.
It's fun once you get over the stress. I think everybody does it just for the love of your science fiction, Doctor Who.
This music really suits what a Doctor Who convention would be like then.
Yeah, I mean, it was
hardcore house.
hardcore sci-fi house.
Yeah.
So that was at a hotel we went to in Birmingham for a convention.
Yeah.
There was a guy sat there with a cardboard alien behind him.
Yes.
This was a promotion for the Sci-Fi Channel, which was launching at the time.
Yes.
And there were these big cardboard cutouts of aliens everywhere. And we ended up with one of those in our house.
Yes, yeah.
Because our dad walked out to the car
Yeah.
after he'd had a few drinks and stole one.
Yeah. He's a massive thief.
He is a massive thief. So
He tried to steal Nicholas Courtney, but he was too heavy.
well, this was the convention that Dad famously or unfamously told Nicholas Courtney to fuck off.
Oh, lovely.
Have I told you that story before? Have we told it on the podcast?
No, yeah, but what was the context?
There were two ways into the convention centre or the hotel.
Yeah.
And for the evening entertainment, they shut everything.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you've got to queue up again. And they made us queue up somewhere, and it wasn't the main queue, and there was 50% of the people were in one room, and then 50, and they forgot about us and left us in this corridor.
Right.
And all of a sudden, someone was like, "What are you doing here?" It's like, we've been here for like fucking hours. We probably haven't. We've probably been there for about an hour. And we walked into the room, and it had filled up. And our dad, just walked straight to the front.
Yeah.
And took a seat at the front, and someone went over and was, "Oh, sorry, I think someone's sitting there." And Dad just went, "Fuck off, it's my seat." We sat down, I was a bit embarrassed.
Yeah.
Didn't know who it was. And then somebody came and sat next to me, and it was only John Pertwee.
Wow.
And then I looked, and the person Dad had told to fuck off was Nick Courtney. I wonder if he remembered that.
Yeah. Bad man.
Yeah, what a bad guy.
Was this the convention where I kept being given an inflatable Dalek balloon that kept floating away?
Yes. Yeah,
really?
Yes.
Okay, so I do remember this.
Yeah, and you were lifted up by a Cyberman.
Okay. Emotionally.
Yeah, exactly. So what do we think of 90s sci-fi fans?
Well, they all seem fine, but I just feel bad for the world that they've grown up in, because the 90s wasn't very forgiving of science fiction fans.
Now people dress like that on purpose.
I know. They were so... It's a shame, yeah.
It is. What do you think they thought the appeal of the show was?
Oh, well, it was just some old show that was never coming back that you could buy on VHS.
Well, let's find out.
But the series has been out of production for 7 years. Why is it still so popular?
I think in a funny way Doctor Who's become very popular and lasted so long because of the police box. It's such a daft idea that if you suggested it now, a man's going to travel around the universe and time and space in a phone box, people would think that you're on drugs or something.
It represents something that's been with me most of my life.
It really is truly family entertainment.
People who have watched it in the past just keep it alive.
It's got a format where it's almost, you can do anything with. You can travel anywhere in time, any dimension, any planet, anywhere in the universe. You can have infinite amount of stories.
Most people that are sitting down to watch it can possibly take something from it.
It's a traditional show as well. It's been going for 30 years. Everybody's grown up with it.
It's the plots that make Doctor Who, not the special effects.
There is a hero. There is good, there is bad, but good wins.
Well, it was one of the first proper science fiction programmes on British television.
Because the characterizations are drawn rather well, and there's been a different Doctor, and it's evolved all the time.
So that was the appeal of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
With some random men dressed as Victorians.
Yeah. A woman dressed as Patrick Troughton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very modern. Then we obviously had... Somebody thinks that the success of the show is down to the police box.
Yeah.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you suggest that now, they'd say you're on drugs. Said by a man that's clearly never taken drugs in his life. I remember this convention very well because Sylvester McCoy was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And he couldn't make it because he was in Vancouver filming a little show called Doctor Who.
Did you know that, or did it just say...
They announced it at the convention that's why I wasn't there, which was the most exciting thing in the world.
Everyone went rock solid.
It's true. But let's find out what the people of Ailcon 96, what their hopes were for the future of Doctor Who.
I think it's quite nice they're going to have a Doctor again, because every generation should have its Doctor.
Sci-fi buzz.
and the prescription for a new Doctor to keep existing fans and generate new ones.
Sensibly, it's got to bear in mind two things. One, there is a domestic market that has had 30 years of Doctor Who. Two, it has also got to be accessible to an American market which, in the main, has no idea what Doctor Who is.
Quality of script's the most essential thing for any success in TV serials or film.
Well, I hope there's going to be a lot of computer special effects and things.
As long as it has conflict and humour. I think humour is very important.
If you've never seen Doctor Who before, give this new Doctor Who a try.
Watch out for the Sci-Fi Channel at a convention near you in another time and relative dimension in space.
Cheeky.
Well, there you go. A lot of hope for the future. So computer special effects.
Yeah.
They'll never catch on, will they?
I just hope it's full of computers. Yeah. Something that all Americans can watch, full of computers. And a right laugh.
And a great story.
Yeah.
So that was the 90s. That makes me feel both cringy inside and warm inside.
Yeah. Colin Baker was given the hard sell.
Yeah, he was.
He was going full businessman,
Maybe...
as though he was the creator of Doctor Who.
Maybe that was... He used to have a production company at one point in the 90s. Maybe that was it, and he thought he was a big producer in the game.
Okay. Also, his long hair, I think he had that in Jonathan Creek, which he probably shot around that time when he played an artist that got... the first episode of Jonathan Creek, he's the first guy that gets killed.
Cole gets bumped off.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. So anyway, I just thought that was a nice little dive into the past.
If any of the people in that documentary are listening to this,
get in touch. Get in touch. We're going to recreate that.
With all the music.
We're going to get you at a convention at some school in Chiswick sometime soon and recreate it.
And we want to know if you're enjoying all of the computers and special effects in the new show.
I wonder how many of those people had an issue with a lady Doctor Who.
Well, definitely not the woman dressed as Patrick Troughton.
No, but maybe the two guys dressed as Victorians. They look quite traditional.
Too hot for TV.
Shall we talk about some Doctor Who?
Yeah, yeah.
Shall we talk about Death in Blackpool?
Yes.
Both of the stories this time round were released in December of 2009.
Yes.
So there's only one lot of news at the time. So Death in Blackpool was recorded on 21st of September 2008 at the Moat Studios. It was first released on the 9th of December 2009 on compact disc. And the story was broadcast on BBC Radio 4 Extra on the 7th of January 2013. Waters of Mars had just been broadcast a month before, and obviously that month David Tennant was going to bow out in The End of Time Part 1 and 2. It was announced that Dreamland was being broadcast on the BBC Red Button. The new logo for the Matt Smith era was released to everybody. Barry Letts had just died. The season 27 audios were announced, and John Barrowman's 12-day journey from LA to Memphis with Mylene Class was broadcast on BBC One.
I'd watch that.
Would you?
Yeah. I wonder how many times he got his act on stage.
Yes, of course. When Barrowman was everywhere. The comic strip at the time was The Ghosts of the Northern Line with the 10th Doctor and Magenta. Do you remember her?
No.
She was she was like a green companion that the Doctor had, I think, after Catherine Tate left.
Okay.
They just went, well, we'll give him a new companion until the specials are over. Also, it's called Ghosts of the Northern Line, so that instantly makes me want to read it, because I live in London.
Yeah.
So on digital versatile disc was the Dalek War box set containing Planet of the Daleks and Frontier in Space.
Right.
Big Finish had just done The Blue Forgotten Planet, featuring the Sixth Doctor, Charlie, the Brigadier, Thomas Brewster, and Polly. Now, I remember that. I don't remember the Brigadier or Polly being in it.
Well, they were.
Oh, great. Castle of Fear, starring the Fifth Doctor, Nyssa and the Rutons, was out. The companion chronicles was the Pyralis Effect, read by Lalla Ward, featuring the Fourth Doctor, Romana and K9. On BBC Audio, we had The Day of the Troll, and Big Finish had also just released Bernie Summerfield, The Inside Story.
That's a lot of Doctor Who.
That is a lot of Doctor Who. Glory days for Doctor Who.
Too hot for TV.
When the Doctor and Lucie land at Bramlington services at Christmas time, they run into Lucie's Aunt Pat and a drunken Father Christmas. Pursued by a mysterious yellow car and its driver, they arrive in Blackpool, only for Lucie to be run over and hospitalised. It turns out their pursuer is Billy, a Zynog. A Zynog is a Zygon, who have lost the physical form they are linked to and have been exiled from the species. The Zynog now jumps from human to human, possessing and living within them. Billy enters Lucie's mind and tries to convince her to give over her body. However, they overhear the Doctor and Pat talking, and it turns out that Pat was killed in a previous encounter with the Doctor, and her lover, Warlord Haygoth, took her form. The Auntie Pat Lucie grew up with was a Zygon all along. Pat prevents Billy from taking Lucie's form, but Pat is dying as she stayed in the same form for too long. The Doctor stays with her as she dies, and Lucie discharges herself. Lucie and the Doctor meet up on the beach, and she tells him she can no longer travel with him.
Too hot for TV.
What are your general feelings on the Lucie Miller stuff?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I got into the Eighth Doctor and Lucie Miller series by the time of their third series, and I went back and got into it. Because at the time I had no interest, because Doctor Who was back, so I didn't need to follow the Eighth Doctor. By now it'd been like 5 years since the show had been back, and so I think a couple of releases into Lucie Miller's third series, I went back and like listened to them all and really got into it.
I really enjoy them. I think I was probably similar the second or the third. I remember hearing the first couple of the first series and just been like, meh.
Yeah.
And then I think it's that second series that really sold me.
Yeah.
And they're quite interesting because they're like this weird mix of classic Doctor Who and new Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So structurally they're like new Doctor Who, but they're kind of written like old Doctor Who.
Yes.
But then Lucie Miller is definitely of the new school companions.
Yeah, and they've got more interesting guest cast because they're on the radio.
Yeah.
And they're like a BBC radio production.
So they get bigger names. I suspect they had a slightly higher budget. And they've got bigger names, obviously, as you say, because people go, well, it's on the radio. People listen to the radio.
Yeah. And
they're just really fun. And even the ones that aren't great, because it's the sort of 50-minute format, they're over in like an episode or a couple of episodes. So you're not bogged down in like 4 or 6 parts of like, it's going to be another cliffhanger, then I have to get through this and just getting from A to B. Like they just zap along.
It's not called BBC Radio anymore. It's called BBC Sounds. Oh. Are the channels called Radio 1, or is it just radio? Is it just one?
I don't know. This is something we need to find out.
I'm going to Google it right now.
Sure, because there's one extra, but is it Radio 1 extra?
So it's now BBC Sounds, which is billed as like music, radio, podcasts, but the actual stations are still referred to as Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3. Because I was just wondering, would a Gen Zer be like, what the fuck's a radio, you freak?
They're Doctor Who fans, they know.
Yeah, it's all just sounds. They're just there.
Well, this was on Doctor Who Sounds.
Yeah.
And it was great fun. I remember as well they had like a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Like for the whole era, and it was weird because Nicholas Briggs was hosting it, and it felt the urge to like go, in this dimension, the Time Lords have not yet been destroyed.
Yeah.
Like that's how you're going to attract people in.
Yeah.
It was very peculiar about the fact that everybody knew what Time Lords were all of a sudden.
Who knew he'd be that obsessed with continuity? Who knew?
Yeah, very true. This was written by Alan Barnes, who we've discussed many times as kind of the nearest thing the Eighth Doctor has to a showrunner.
He's one of my favourite writers. I think he's probably quite mixed. He's probably done some stuff that's not good. Yeah. But he is a big presence that I would love to just have to watch an interview with him that's about, an hour and a half, in a small room on a television screen.
Do you know those things exist?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can arrange you if you need a bit of therapy that way of just an hour and a half with Alan Barnes. I'm sure we can sort it out.
I'd call it Barnes and Noble. Or Noble Barnes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mythmakers, have they not done one with him?
They've not. I'll get in touch with Keith Barnfather and we can have a chat. So, it's quite a bleak story.
Yes.
Like, for me, it's got more in common with, like, an EastEnders Christmas special.
Yeah.
But not kind of the dramatic beats of, like, EastEnders Christmas special where every bad things that happen, there's, like, almost an audible... Yeah. It's more just, like, looking at... it deals with death and loss in quite a brutal way, I think.
It does. It is very dark. But I never got why the TV Christmas specials went so light because it's Christmas, because I remember vividly cheering Little Mo beating Trevor, evil Trevor, to death with an iron on Christmas Day. And that was, you know, everyone loved that.
Do you think the Doctor Who Christmas specials stick out a bit because they're so Christmassy of that time, admittedly?
Yeah, I just don't know why, you know, the Doctor and Yaz can't have a proper bitch fight over the fact that Yaz loves her and she don't give a fuck. So this is very EastEnders-y.
It is.
And it's, very grim.
They talk about death, like, you know, there's that conversation where Billy and Lucie are talking about that guy who's lying in a hospital bed and, he's always going to quit smoking, you know, he's always going to buy margarine instead of butter. And, you know, it's quite grim. And then Lucie just goes, well, yeah, but that's just human nature, isn't it?
It's like It's a Wonderful Life, but with a sad ending.
Yeah.
And I guess it's also because it's a really sad... It's a bit like, you know, like Resurrection of the Daleks, where Tegan just goes, this is horrible, so I'm going. And it's a bit similar here.
Do you actually think Doctor Who could do a Christmas Day special like this now, this grim, on TV?
You would have a happy ending. Yeah. You could explore the subject matter. I think it could do anything. I just don't know why. I just don't know.
I suspect that I don't think Russell T Davies would ever go that dark. I know we talk about Russell because he's the one that's coming back, obviously. Yeah. I think he would in a series, but not. And like Stephen Moffat tends to do a little bit dark, but then he will always deliver a happy ending, won't he?
Yeah. Well, I always find, like, I think The End of Time is the weirdest the show's ever gone, in that it's actually very dark, but at the same time it's just like, it remembers that it's Christmas Day, so it's like, oh, here's some horny old people. And then the Doctor's breaking down crying 1 minute, and then it's just like, oh, it's cactus people. It's, yeah.
So this is a sequel to The Zygon That Fell to Earth.
Yeah. It helps if you've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but you get it. So basically...
Auntie Pat, Lucie's auntie, who is Pat,
was married to or in love with a Zygon.
Yeah.
Who'd taken human form, called Warlord Haygoth.
Yeah.
Pat dies, and Haygoth takes her place and becomes the auntie that... Because they meet in the past, but the auntie that Lucie grew up with was actually Haygoth all the time.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty fucking cool little time travel story.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Is this just Zygon, the video we did last Christmas, done really well?
Yes.
Because it's quite similar.
Yeah.
They talk a lot about kind of what it means to be a Zygon. They've obviously got the Zynogs, which is a fucking stupid name. Unlike Zygon, obviously.
Everyone looks a lot better in this as well.
Yeah, it's true. And nobody gets their knob out.
Yeah.
At least, unless that Santa character has his knob out the entire time and we just don't know.
Maybe.
But it's kind of similar things about what happens if you take on the form of if you're a shapeshifter, essentially. And I think it's quite a good deep dive into that. And I was just quite... As grim as it is, I just found the whole thing very compelling.
No, there was times when I thought the action was quite confused as to why they were where they were, and I found this is the second time I've listened to this. I don't know why, but it doesn't sound that coherent to me as to how they end up where they are and why they're going where they're going and what's going on. I think probably some bits of it are actually quite visual.
Okay,
but it is interesting, and I do like that they did go for a grim Christmas story, knowing that Doctor Who's back on TV, so that's them doing something differently rather than just, you know, rehashing the past.
Rather than killer Christmas trees and Christmas puddings. What do we think of the Zygons here and the addition of the Zynogs and the addition to the mythos? I
feel like the Zygons are quite hard to do on audio. I don't think they work as well. So it could have been anything, really. Like, it didn't have to be a Zygon. There's lots of shapeshifters in Doctor Who. I think the Zygons, these audios, and this is why perhaps for something that's getting a broader listening scope, because it's broadcast on radio, it relies on you knowing what a Zygon is. Yeah.
Like, it's the same with Weeping Angels on audio.
Yeah.
They only work because we know how the Weeping Angels work. Whereas if you're someone that's a bit more casual and the Zygons obviously haven't appeared in the new series at this point, you kind of go, well, I don't know what a Zygon... You get that it's a shapeshifter, but you don't...
Yeah.
You don't get that extra thing that as a fan you go, I know what they're doing right now when I hear that sound effect.
Yeah.
But I do like that. So the Zynogs are Zygons that have lost their original form.
Yeah. The body print that they're aping has been destroyed, so they're trapped, and so they possess other people's...
which is cool.
Yeah.
And I also like that they had this... He'd been kicked off the planet because he had taken the form of another Zygon, which is the rule of the Zygons, is that you don't become another Zygon.
Yeah. It's just funny that there's all these codes and culture around Zygons, and at the end of the day, they still suck on Loch Ness Monster titties.
Scarrison milk. Every time I hear that in any form of like audio or reading it in a book, I just think, you dirty fucking Zygons.
Yeah. They're still just a bunch of milk drinking, blobby Pizza Hut.
Yeah. But that is, it's a different culture, so you've just got to let Zygons be Zygons, eh?
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah. Good one.
Let's talk about it. I'll cut that out. Let's talk about the cast.
The cast.
And in particular, Auntie Pat was played by Patricia Ryder.
Yeah.
Patricia Ryder did 6 years on Doctors, 3 years on Hollyoaks, was in Absolutely Fabulous, all of them, and has done many other shows, which plays Katerina.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I do like the character of Auntie Pat, but I did find her a little annoying.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wanted her to shut the fuck up. But you know, by the end with her and Paul Magrs as she's dying, the interaction there is, you know, it's quite well done and it's quite sweet.
Yeah, she's very much... She's a full-on auntie character. Yeah. She doesn't ever not talk like an aunt.
Yeah, very true, very true. But, you know, I think she sells it. I'm there for Auntie Pat.
Yeah. Do you know what annoys me is they always call her Auntie Pat? Don't know why. You wouldn't call someone that all the time.
I call all our aunties Auntie.
No, but the doctor wouldn't call her Auntie Pat.
That's true. And you just don't though, do you, when you get older?
Yeah.
So I always say Grandad Bill and you always say Bill.
Yeah. Because, it's his name.
When did you stop calling him Grandad?
The day the music died.
Then we've got... Billy is played by David Schofield, who you may remember as playing Odin in The Girl Who Dies, and then has been in The Pirates of the Caribbean, The Bill, Our Friends in the North, Harry Potter, Shameless, and many other things.
That's a good resume.
It is a good resume. I think about Billy is, he's there as a character just to kind of propel the plot forward, which I know is fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's what characters do.
Yeah.
But it's all leading to the moment where Pat dies and we find out about it. Like, for dramatic purposes, for Doctor Who purposes, you need that threat.
Yeah.
But actually, he doesn't have a huge impact on the characters. It's just to kind of get us to... if you took him away, Pat's still going to die.
Yeah.
And Lucie's going to find out, right?
Okay. But I guess something about a sinister man with a northern accent that always makes me think of, like, a really sinister soap character. As in, he sounds like a sex offender or something.
Yes.
It's just that particular northern accent in a lowered voice.
Yeah.
It's really creepy.
No, I get you. Then we've got Father Christmas, as played by John Glover, who's been in the Sarah Jane Adventures, Harry Enfield and Chums, Bodger and Badger, and The Survivors, which is a fucking good resume as well. I really like tragic drunk Santa, even if it is like a complete and utter cliche.
Yes.
I thought that was quite a fun...
Well, what's odd about that is that he keeps pretending that he is Santa and never ever lets on as to his normal life, which is kind of... I mean, we knew nutters like that on Travel West Midlands buses, but I was surprised. I was waiting for the moment when he went, "Oh, actually, my name's Terry, and I'm from..."
Because he gets offered a job, doesn't he, as a porter in the hospital in the end.
Yeah.
But and he keeps screaming, persistently shouting, "It's Christmas!"
Yeah.
Which will never not be annoying. Especially as, like, coming from Birmingham, as we do. Like, that's what you would hear in Birmingham pubs from the beginning of December.
Yeah.
Depressing.
Yeah.
That was a trigger for me.
You know, it really fucking was.
But it's nice to hear a Brummie in Doctor Who, isn't it?
It is, and there should be more.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that could improve the show.
The only thing.
Yeah, I don't care. I would rather see a drop in quality, but an increase in West Midlands based actors.
We should write to Russell T Davies.
Yeah.
The theme tune. What's the theme tune?
It's just it's a mashup of different Doctor Who tunes, isn't it? It's
it
Hartnell and Pertwee and
Tom Baker.
Yeah.
It's all three of them mixed together. Because I was like, I recognise all this, but this isn't... It's not right. I mean, it is right. It sounds good, but there's lots of...
Yeah.
Like, there's so many of those.
Yeah, make your mind up. Yeah. It's a bit of a Subway sandwich of a Doctor Who theme. Best one will always be the Scream of the Schalke theme.
Your favourite. I've actually walked into Jack's room late at night when he's had a few drinks and he's just dancing to that theme tune.
Having a Schalke.
So ultimately, this is about the Doctor and Lucie's relationship, which I don't think is. I can't remember, but I don't feel like it's really frayed before this.
No.
And then obviously they've been through some shit. Have they done Orbis yet? They've been to Orbis where he's living with some fish people for a bit, and she's thought he was dead or something like that. But so it was a bit of a shock to me the first time hearing it that she actually left.
Yeah.
Even though she does come back, but I think that was just because they couldn't. Sheridan Smith was just being a superstar, so they just couldn't get her.
Right. She's a good actor.
She is.
Like for audio, like good actors can be bad on audio, but she sells it pretty well. Like she's the ideal companion for audio.
I think she's one of my favourite companions.
Yeah, she's good.
I think she's in my top 10. I think the Eighth Doctor and her together are phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, they're up there with her and Charlie. And Charlie.
But also, I think she's a better actor than India Fisher. As much as I like India Fisher, I think she's a notch better.
I think that's fair to say. What do you think of Lucie's exit? I mean, I know she comes back into the death and does a death.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, if you haven't heard of
15-year-old
audio play. But do you prefer this exit or do you prefer her death into the death?
Oh no, I like her death. But this is interesting because she can't take the fact that the Doctor's lied to her about her aunt, but also she said that she views him as such a fairy tale figure that she can't handle the idea of him being flawed and human, which is interesting, because I think maybe Martha felt the same way about the Doctor as well. So it's very as an ending it would work better if the run up to it wasn't so bleak, because it's a sad ending. But also, it's been a story without any kind of joy at all. Mm-hmm. So I think it would have worked better if there was a bit more levity to the story. Yeah,
I agree. It does, like, as much as I enjoy the kind of grimness of it, it does need a little bit more. I feel like that Santa character was supposed to add slightly more levity, but actually they just made him really tragic.
Yeah.
Does it capture the Christmas spirit?
If your Christmas spirit is a lot of gin, barrels of gin.
I think it's probably it's a more honest Christmas than a lot of Doctor Who on TV, because not all people have great Christmases for a start. And, just things of like thinking about people in hospitals and people working and like depressed old Santa, and Lucie talking about family arguments and drunk uncles and things like that.
And also little things like the fact that the woman on the desk of the hospital is Polish. Yeah. Like little things that just add a degree of realism to it.
Oh, actually, there's a bunch of workers that have been brought in from the EU who are willing to work through Christmas while you're sat at home stuffing your face and calling for Brexit.
Yeah, pre-Brexit.
It was pre-Brexit. Things were better then. Does it clang or bang?
I think it bangs.
It does bang.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Too hot for TV.
The Ghost of Christmas Present. It's only time for the festive Too Hot for TV Doctor Who quiz.
Ooh.
So, 10 questions. Rapid fire. Some are multiple choice, some aren't. Let's go. What weapon did Neverland and the Stockbridge Horror have in common?
A battle TARDIS. Time torpedoes.
Time torpedoes. There you go, we'll give you that. Which member of the League of Gentlemen appears in Auton?
Rhys Shearsmith.
Well done. Complete the nursery rhyme. Zagreus sits inside your head. Zagreus lives amongst the dead. Zagreus sees you in your bed.
And has a good old fiddle.
I'm afraid it was.
And eats you when you're sleeping.
Well done. Is Ian Stewart black?
No.
Correct. Which of these stories we have covered does not feature murdered prostitutes? Is it Doctor Who the Movie by Johnny Byrne, Erosdony by Mark Gatiss, or Medicinal Purposes by Robert Ross?
Erosdony.
Correct.
Yes.
In Slipback, Perry describes the TARDIS as wheezing and groaning like what?
A dirty old man.
Correct. Do you prefer acting for TV or stage?
Stage.
Correct. In four-dimensional vistas, what is the military outfit the Doctor aligns with? Is it A, SAG-5, B, SAG-3, or C, Sagaloo?
SAG-3?
Correct. Who wrote The Paradise of Death? Was it Barry Letts, Terence Dicks, or Bob Baker?
It was Barry Letts.
Well done. If our dad had had his way, which two characters from The Time Warrior would we be named after?
What, a Lynx and Blood Axe?
I'm afraid not. It was Irongron and Blood Axe. And after that, you scored 9 out of 10. That's
Wow.
pretty impressive. Well
Wow.
done. There you go. That was a little quiz through Doctor Who Too Hot for TV history and our own personal history.
Oh, that was intense.
It was. But 9 out of 10 is very good.
He was going to be Irongron and he was going to be Blood Axe.
I think I was going to be Irongron as the firstborn.
Okay.
There we go.
People would have called you Iron Groin as your nickname.
Some people still call me that.
Yeah.
Too hot for TV.
Should we talk about Doctor Who, Hornet's Nest, A Sting in the Tail?
Yes.
So this was out on the 3rd of December 2009, so same time as the previous thing. So all that stuff I said was still out.
Yeah.
It was written by Paul Magrs and directed by Kate Thomas, who directed all of these.
Too hot for TV.
Landing in the Dark Ages, the Doctor discovers a pack of wild dogs besieging the local abbey. The Doctor is given shelter by the nuns and seeks an audience with the Mother Superior, who is revealed to be a pig possessed by the Hornet's Queen. On the next attack, the Hornets are drawn into a single lone wolfhound, which the Doctor leads back to his TARDIS. Isolating himself and the Hornets in the vortex, the Doctor pursues the wild dog through the labyrinth of the TARDIS, until he finds himself possessed by the Hornets, who lead him to unleash their race upon mid-century Venice.
Too hot for TV.
These are Doctor Who, Tom Baker, first return to the role.
Yes.
What are your experience of these? Have you listened to them before?
Yeah, I listened to quite a few, and I enjoyed them.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think
fans hated them.
Yeah.
I liked them.
I think I only got as far as the second one.
Yeah.
But as I've said that many a times, I really struggle with talking books.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it a bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're not quite how people remember Doctor Who.
No.
But, so it marked the return of Tom Baker to the role of the Fourth Doctor for the first time since Destiny of the Doctors in 1997. He was obviously the only surviving classic series Doctor not doing Big Finish. And this came out of... Tom had been reading Target adaptations for the BBC, and in his own... After being asked for years by Big Finish, he just kind of went, wouldn't it be great if we could do some new stories? And obviously the producer, whoever it was, went... That's a great idea, Tom. Yeah. But obviously...
That's definitely a Toast of London setup. Just like... Clem Fandango, what if we did new stories?
Now, obviously, Tom had some quite specific ideas about what he wanted from this, which weren't necessarily your typical Doctor Who ideas.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, him going, and the Mother Superior should be a pig.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So they drafted in Paul Magrs,
Yeah.
who is very good at writing...
He's very good at being a Tom Baker's interpreter.
Yeah. But, he comes up with quite obscure stories that are funny himself. So I think he was sort of able to kind of manage a lot of those ideas.
Yeah. He's adaptable.
Yeah. Into the stories in a way that, say, someone like Graham Williams in the past would just go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Now, Tom has a bit of a reputation for doing this, and of course a similar thing happened when he started doing Big Finish, and he'd come up with a few ideas and the writers had tried to incorporate them, and then he showed up to the first studio session and he goes, what's all this bloody stuff? And they were, you wanted that in, Tom, and he went, don't listen to me. So I think it's quite... So the Big Finish you get now, I'm sure it does have a bit of Tom in, but I don't think he has a huge say on the plot.
Yeah.
Whereas this is Tom Baker's Doctor Who, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah. Well, I think it's very much built around the Doctor telling stories.
Yeah.
In a way that's kind of a mix between Tom Baker doing audiobooks and doing Christmas ghost stories.
Does it feel like Doctor Who?
Yeah, no, I think it does. I think it feels like Doctor Who. It's just that maybe a bit more like an annual. But I find this more interesting than what Big Finish are doing with Tom Baker.
I mean, it's Tom's narration and kind of the bonkers imagery that keeps you interested. But admittedly, I would rather hear some of the things in this than another exciting adventure with the Drashigs.
Yeah.
Because they literally did one called Drashig Park.
Right. Yeah.
Which is a great title.
Yeah.
But
it's also it's odd going into it if you listen to Big Finish because production wise it's a step back, like in terms of like music and sound effects.
Yeah.
It's odd, but it sounds like the Pescatons or something like that.
Now with this, and the others, you've obviously listened to more of these than me. Are there some that are a bit more like Big Finish in that? I know they've all got narration, but like with Mrs Wibsey, Mike Yates, and the Fourth Doctor having a bit of a runaround.
Yeah, I think that's they did more of that. Yeah, because by the end of it, they brought the Second Doctor into it.
Yeah, wasn't it a fake Second Doctor?
Oh, I don't know, but it was David Troughton.
Yeah. All the Troughtons play him eventually. Michael Troughton's just been announced as doing it.
Have a go at playing Dad. Our dead dad. I've done it. It's your turn now. Be daddy.
You could almost play the Bakerism drinking game with the script of like drink every time you think Tom Baker has suggested an idea. Yeah. So the Mother Superior as a pig, the aliens being allergic to booze, and just Tom Baker singing, which was something I'd not experienced before.
Yeah. It's obviously it's written based on Tom Baker at conventions talking a lot.
Yeah, telling his stories.
Yeah.
Like it is kind of rich in kind of the storytelling style, and like it's like we know Tom Baker will make these prose, because a lot of it's prose rather than dialogue.
Yeah.
Sing in a way that will be interesting to Doctor Who fans. What are the Hornets?
They're these evil bees.
That's it.
Yeah, evil bees.
Evil bees.
I think they can, but they can possess stuff. I think they're I think they're a cool idea, and I think you could do that. Like someone full of bees possessed. So they possess inanimate things, so dead bodies, stuffed animals, and other things. So I think that works. I think that's a cool monster.
Yeah. What do you think of the tone of these stories? As in, like, where is it pitched? Who's it pitched at, and why?
Well, it's like a kid's ghost story.
Yeah.
So it's just like a spooky audiobook. It's a book at bedtime.
Yeah.
Which Radio 4 does. It's basically that.
I should have listened to it before I was going to bed, not on the train to Birmingham, staring at a black coffee.
No, I first listened to this like near Christmas once, and like it's atmospheric.
It's got a 1990s Sunday tea time vibe about it, in the vein of like Five Children in It and Narnia and stuff like that as well. Do you think Tom Baker's voice is quite festive?
Yes.
Yes, great.
Yes, it is.
The greatest Father Christmas we've never had.
Well, it's odd to be good at reading like things like Dickens and literature. You've got to have a voice that sounds a bit like the past.
Yeah.
And it's odd because obviously he's from Liverpool, but doesn't sound like he's from Liverpool.
Well, that's because that was kind of taught out of him when he went to acting school.
But he's got a fruity voice that doesn't sound like it's from now. It sounds like it's from the past.
Yeah, I agree. So it's written by Paul Magrs, who has a reputation for slightly off-the-wall Doctor Who stories. Have you experienced much of his work?
Yes, I read The Blue Angel, which has got Iris Wildthyme in it. That's a great book, and that's a very unusual book in that it ends on a big cliffhanger, and then with just a bunch of questions as to what, like a reader's, like, you know, like you have book circle group, like novels with questions at the back. He does that for like, how do you think they got out of it? It's really odd, but I kind of liked how anarchic it was.
I want to listen to his audiobook he's done called Bessie Come Home, which is just Doctor Who stories told from the point of view of the car.
Is that real?
That is real. It came out this year. Like,
wow.
It's had really good reviews. Like, everybody's going, I can't believe this works, but it does.
Yeah.
At this time, he'd done The Stones of Venice, The Wormery, and The Horror of Glam Rock, which I think was the first one to introduce Anti-Pat.
Yes. Wormery was good.
Do you know what? I remember liking The Wormery. I also, as a kid, remember thinking The Stones of Venice was the weaker one of the Eighth Doctor range.
Yeah.
But I think it probably wasn't.
No.
I think if I revisited it, I'm sure there'd be lots to enjoy.
Yeah.
But again, because it's kind of his unique style, and I guess as a sort of 13, 14-year-old, I probably wanted my Doctor Who to be Cybermen and Daleks and not some clever story.
Yeah.
And I remember it's got Michael Sheardin, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. When that came out, I thought that Venice was a place from the past that had sank beneath. I thought it was historical. I didn't think Venice was a real place. I thought it was something like Atlantis that was underwater.
I mean, it is historical, but it's also still there.
Yeah.
Ever been?
No. I would like to, though.
That's because Paul Magrs fucking destroyed it.
Yeah.
Books he'd had out at the time were Mad Dogs and Englishmen, which is the one with the pink cover.
Yes.
And the Scarlet Empress. Have we discussed the Scarlet Empress before?
No.
Have you read either of those?
No.
What's Mad Dogs and Englishmen about? I'd love to read that. It looks... Just because of the cover.
Yeah, it's got a poodle with a ray gun, and it was, the 100th BBC book?
Yeah, I think so.
I admire their balls for putting that out as a product for the 100th Doctor Who book.
Yeah.
Like a gold logo with a pink cover with a poodle on it.
I bet that some people lost their shit.
Yeah.
They were like, why isn't there 19 Doctors in it? Well, I mean, there could have been, but, Doctor Who fans, any milestone, they just want several Doctors.
Mm.
He writes some very compelling prose that Tom Baker reads very well, but is there much of a story here?
No. It's like I listened to one chapter of an audiobook, so it isn't...
I mean, it is part of a bigger story, but...
Well, it is, but it definitely feels like you don't just listen to this on its own.
You can't drop in.
No.
I mean, we did.
Yeah.
And you pick up fairly quickly that actually from the previous story, the circus and whatever, this is actually kind of the Doctor sets up the villain for that in this adventure. But the last half is basically just the Doctor running through the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And he describes these huge kind of rooms, like cathedral-like rooms and rooms full of antiques and stuff, which is a very Doctor Who fan thing to describe. But it's also a very Tom Baker thing. He'd always tell those stories at conventions, like, I had one scene where I opened a boot cupboard and it looked like blah, blah, blah. And he was all very much for exploring those worlds, and Doctor Who fans are. But actually, there's no fucking point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody's come up with a compelling and interesting reason to set a story in the TARDIS that, except for showing more of the TARDIS because Doctor Who fans want to see it.
But I really like those scenes in this because it's the Doctor on his own in his TARDIS he's trying to hunt a monster, but also the monster's hunting him. I thought that was quite interesting. A bit like in the Stockbridge horror when the Doctor's alone in his TARDIS being pursued. I thought that was quite atmospheric.
Oh, I enjoyed it, but it is 30 minutes of running through the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Which, admittedly, the prose make it more interesting than Tom's narration. And what do you think of Tom's performance here?
He has some really fruity lines, sometimes too fruity, but I can't quote any at you.
Like nuns can be unpredictable.
Yeah.
And the way he says women folk a few times with like a really dirty kind of thing. One of the lines that made me laugh was just at the end. They're locked in the cellar and Mrs Wibsey is outside and he goes, a full English for me and some porridge for Mike. Because of course Mike Yates doesn't deserve a full English.
Yeah.
Does he sound like Doctor Who? Is it Doctor Who? Is it Doctor
Who? I think it is. The Fourth Doctor Adventures with Big Finish have got a very definitive idea of what Doctor Who is. And so I like that this exists.
I like that it
exists. As a strange, fruity, dark series of fantasy horror stories. Narrated by the Doctor. The only thing that I do to improve it would be get rid of Mike Yates. That's the only thing that seems really odd.
Well, you know why he's there.
Because Nick Courtney wasn't around.
Yeah.
But it would work better with just a complete stranger.
Yeah.
The Mike Yates thing feels too Big Finishy now.
I'd even buy it if it was Benton, Yeah. But as you say, I'd rather have a stranger from the past. I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody else you could pull out of that era, but they're all, unfortunately, I think Liz Sladen. Nick Courtney was still alive but ill. I think.
Yeah. Liz
Sladen was off doing the Sarah Jane adventures, and then it doesn't really work because none of the other companions are like a kind of British countryside. The only person you could do is Romana retired there, and they weren't really on talking terms at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, he just sounds awkward being there, not just because we know they don't really have a relationship, but even Tom said in an interview, he was like, I don't really know who Richard Franklin is.
Yeah.
But, we were supposed to do them with Nick Courtney, but he was too ill. It's a shame because that's another one of those missed opportunities. There was a few things that, like, if Nick Courtney had held on a few more years, like he would have met the 10th Doctor in The Wedding of Sarah Jane, was it?
Yes. Also, I think this works as the Doctor without a companion. Like, Tom Baker without a companion doesn't really work. But this version where it's him telling ghost stories does.
And he didn't necessarily need to tell them to somebody.
Yeah.
You could have just I know
It should have just been Mrs Wibsey.
Yeah, who is Mrs Wibsey?
She's his housekeeper.
Mm.
But she turns out that she's been possessed by the Hornets at the end. That's the cliffhanger.
For the whole time, or just at that point?
I don't know, but she becomes a companion, so she's a goodie.
She's a goodie. Okay, she's sort of, what's the lady in Sherlock called?
Mrs Hudson.
Yeah, she's their Mrs Hudson, essentially.
But I like that, and I do tonally, I do really like these. I think there's nothing wrong with them, and I'd rather some like dark, magical escapades with, bees taking over circus animals and things like that than the rebels and miners and all that bullshit.
I've not listened to all the Tom Baker Big Finish stuff, and it is largely rebels and miners, but there are a couple of interesting... two that stick out for me. 3, I think. There was one called The Antimatter,
right,
which is about a guy with a bunch of like killer aunties, which might be Paul Magrs again, I can't remember.
It's Jonathan Morris. And then there was one called Night of the Stormcrow, and another one with him and the Vashta Narada. And those are... I kind of stopped listening to them after that because I was just like, I don't need this much Tom Baker in my life. Yeah.
But I would say every series had one that I was like, this is really good, but that wasn't enough to keep me listening.
Yeah.
If every series had 5, I'd probably keep going. But
also, because it's mainly prose, visually, I think it's more like... I think the Hornets and the things that they take over are all visually
you can
effective
see
because it's being described in that way. And even just like the winteriness and the Doctor walking through the snow on his own, I buy the Fourth Doctor doing that, and it works better than if it was a full cast drama with some sound effects.
Yeah. It's often said that Tom Baker needs reining in. Do you think that's the case here or not?
Maybe a couple of times, but I don't mind. I just don't mind. It's this is... If you listen to the Boy Who Kicked Pigs audiobook, it's not that far away from that. No. And I don't mind that. Yeah, it just doesn't bother me that whether it's Doctor Who-ish or not, because I don't really know what that... When people say it's not Doctor Who, that normally means that it's not traditional.
Yeah. It's not traditional Doctor Who, but there's a part of me that can see the Fourth Doctor taking a year out and going to live in a cottage and...
Yeah. The Cottaging Chronicles.
But
Tom Baker's Titty Tinglers for winter nights.
I mean, eventually everybody does it in Big Finish at some point. So I think Tom Baker has a house that him and Romana ended up living in for a bit.
Really?
And then I think that's the house in Stranded that they end up, the Eighth Doctor goes to live in.
So it's the house on Allen Road, but...
Allen Road?
The house on Allen Road from the New Adventures.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, it's not, but they've just copied that idea. Fuck Big Finish. Plagiarising.
No, but I think, I'm sure...
Baker Street
is essentially what it is, yeah. And I think, at some point the TV series will do it.
Yeah.
One of those pitches that... several pitches that happened for Doctor Who. One of them involved an old Tom Baker living in an attic somewhere.
Yeah.
Russell T Davies also had one that was basically the Sarah Jane Adventures, but Doctor Who, of an old man living in an attic. So I think it's only a matter of time before we see... I don't think that's Russell T Davies's brand new reinvention we've got coming, but I think it's only a matter of time.
It's like Doctor Who, but with a house. Yeah. Bring him back now.
Or is it the Curator?
No, it's not the Curator.
For fuck's sake. That's why you'll never work for Big Finish, because you can't make those links.
Yeah.
Does this have any appeal beyond Doctor Who fans?
I think it works for children in an odd way. I think it's a really good book at bedtime.
Yeah. It was given away, the first series was given away with the Daily Mail.
Right.
So there will be people who aren't fans like we're fans who went, I'll have a listen to this in the car to work or whatever. Also because it's not continuity heavy.
Yeah.
It's actually just like you say, a compelling kind of kid story with enough in there for adults to make it interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if I have kids that I'm going to put that on the holidays, but it's that sort of thing, like when I was very young, I remember listening to storybooks in the car and stuff like that, and something like this I think probably would have held my attention for an hour.
Yeah.
Clang or bang?
I think it's a banger.
I think it's a banger too.
Good.
2 certified classics from us.
Too hot for TV.
So The Ghost of Christmas Future.
Okay.
Doctor Who's changing forever.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall is going.
Yes.
I want to know what you're expecting from Chris Chibnall's finales, these final 2 episodes, and then a bit about Russell T Davies's Doctor Who 2.
I think we're going to have some kind of big, epic Gallifrey story for the final Chibnall thing. Because he's already done it offhandedly with Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children, so I feel like he might go back there. We'll see the fob watched open, but it won't impact the Doctor. Something will happen, but we won't actually find out anything new.
No. I think, if anything, it'll just confirm the placement of the Ruth Doctor.
Yeah.
And they'll go, it's definitely pre-Hartnell or something
like
that. I think that's the only kind of confirmation we'll get there, and that there were shitloads of others which we already know now. Yeah.
I was surprised that Ruth wasn't in more of Flux.
Yeah.
That was unusual, but part of me wonders if that was a result of COVID. Because I feel like there was a lot of last minute rewriting of things.
I think there's probably multiple versions of Flux that existed that changed.
Yeah.
Some due to just television schedules.
Yeah.
Due to the workload, and some of it due to Flux.
Do you think he reached a point where it's like, this keeps on changing? Fuck it, I'm just going to call it Flux. Maybe that was it.
Maybe he did. Yeah. Maybe he did.
I found the ending of Flux unusual in that it felt like it set up certain things that it didn't follow through with, and it introduced lots of other things, which made me think that there were certain plot threads that they wanted to deal with in Flux, but at the last minute the BBC commissioned more specials, and so that maybe
they moved him out.
Something that was in Flux is now in the finale.
It feels like definitely that's, and again, we could all be proved wrong, it's all fan kind of guesswork, but it feels like that Sea Devils special, that if it was a 10-part series, that was just a Sea Devils episode within. You know how in, what was the last, series 12, you start with Spyfall, then you've got a couple of episodes, Fugitive of the Jadoon, and then you've got the final 2 episodes. It feels like what they did was pull out all those other episodes, and he said some of them went to the wayside, but it feels like the Village of the Angels was the one he was like, let's keep that in, and then maybe because it was the best script, or maybe because he just wanted to bring the Sea Devils back, he was like, our next special's this. And then you've obviously got the Centenary special, which I think will have some overhanging things from Flux. I also think there's part of me that thinks it's the centenary of the BBC. It's a big celebration of the BBC.
Yeah.
How many elements from, in like an anniversary sort of way, do they go for, let's bring in a load of elements from the past?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that David Tennant shows up or whatever, but like, is there callbacks, monsters, things we don't know about? I'm not saying it will be that, but if it's not just Jodie's final episode, it's a celebration of the BBC itself, and Doctor Who's played a long part in that history.
Well, that's what I thought. The idea of the fob watch and this big house that's full of memories, I can see them. If you just go in there, I can, like, it's this big kind of mind palace type place, and you go into one room and there's David Tennant says one line, and then they go, or you know, a bit like a dream sequence of just past.
You know,
elements.
like in The Witch's Familiar or The Magician's Apprentice, whichever one it was, and there's a bit of Genesis of the Daleks playing. You could almost imagine going through different rooms and seeing moments like that. And then
like a convention, with a viewing room and a dealer's room.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. AleCon, the centenary special.
It all comes back to AleCon. And then what about for Russell T Davies's?
Well, everyone is... First of all, I'm surprised that he's actually writing the episodes, because we both presumed he was going to just be overseeing other writers, because he'd be too knackered to do it, because he's already done it once. So that's interesting. I don't know how to... I hope it's good, because the last thing he wrote was The End of Time, and that was fucking shoddy. As much as I love lots of bits of it, it's an utterly mad piece of TV.
But he's come a long way, and he was knackered at the end of it, and he's wrote some amazing things since. And I think all signs point towards, whether it's 5 or 6 individual episodes or a 5 or 6 part story, I don't think you'll suddenly see 13 new episodes of Doctor Who every year. I think, if I had to guess, it'll be 6 episodes a year and maybe a Christmas special. What I fucking hope doesn't happen, this is my biggest fear, is if they're bringing back the Christmas special, that it doesn't end up being 5 episodes a year, and the finale is the Christmas episode, and we end up every Christmas ending on, having to shoehorn Christmas in.
Yeah. I think they wouldn't do that because they would be like, you don't want to have a finale on Christmas Day in a way, or like, I don't think they would do that. But with the casting, everybody's just fixated on It's a Sin. Yeah. Everyone's dead set on it being an actor from It's a Sin, which kind of makes me want it to not be.
I think everybody's fixated on that because his previous two doctors he worked with before, but I think those were quite exceptional circumstances both times they were cast.
Yeah.
And
also he's got another drama coming out.
Yeah.
About the Crossroads star.
Starring Helen Bonham Carter. Could be her.
I'd be fine if she was the Doctor.
Me too.
I feel, I really can't make a call on who it's going to be because it's not my job.
That's true, but it will be somebody.
Yeah.
That much is for certain.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he deals with the new budget of the show, because visually, with the visual effects, the show, like, Flux was it was incredible. Like, visually, Doctor Who has always wanted to look like that, and it's only just done that after over 50 years, nearly 60 years.
I mean, there's all sorts of interesting things he said before he knew he was getting the job, and I'm sure people will pull him up on these in interviews for years to come. But he said, like, if we were doing Doctor Who now, it'd be a huge multiverse with lots and lots of spin-offs. But that assumes that the BBC and Bad Wolf, because it is those two companies providing the money, have the money to do those sort of things, which I don't think they do.
Yeah. Also, Doctor Who doesn't need spin-offs. It's hard enough for the show itself to get made.
Yeah.
Fuck spin-offs. I know it was nice when we had Torchwood and Sarah Jane, but like, also it's harder if you're not in. It's kind of harder when you're not enjoying Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like if you have an episode that you don't enjoy, and then there's all these other shows being made. I'd rather they just put all the resources into the show itself.
I mean, it depends how you do it. I mean, for all we know, the series might be a 6-part series, all one story with 8 main characters, and 2 of them end up in a spin-off somewhere. Yeah. And I think it depends on the power of Russell T Davies being able to oversee them all, and also who he gets to oversee any spin-offs if they happen. Yeah. But I suspect the BBC are just concentrating on, and Russell T Davies is just concentrating on making the best series or 2 or whatever of Doctor Who that they're going to get. Yeah. I think at this point it would be remiss of them to just be like, let's make 50 shows. It's like, let's get a really cracking series of Doctor Who going. I've loved this series, but I think the only negative thing I'll say, and this would happen if Russell T Davies was in charge now, is Doctor Who's been going for 15 years in its current guise. Yeah. And I think to the general public, it probably needs a bit of a shake-up. Not like huge amount. I think the ratings have been good. I think I loved Flux, and I don't think it's what it's needing now is a massive reinvention to get people really excited again. Yeah. So I would concentrate on that if I was Rusty Davies, but I'm not, am I? Yeah. So there we go. But I look forward to seeing what he pulls out the bag. Yeah. So the future of this podcast, Jack.
Yeah. Rusty Davies is taking over the podcast.
With Chris Chibnall.
Yeah. No, I am stepping down from podcasting because of how divided the country is and how fractured, we've all become into our different subcultures.
I like Big Finish. You like Hornet's cottage nest.
I'm getting out of my bubble to really meet the real people of the UK, which is why I'm going to move from North London to South London
and become a Star Trek fan.
Yes, yeah,
understandable. But obviously, we started the podcast just before lockdown. We didn't know how long it was going to go on for. And certainly for the first part of lockdown, we had fuck all else to do. So it was quite nice to go for a walk, listening to a Big Finish and then reading a comic. But as life has become more complicated and the world goes back to reasonably normal, or the new normal as it was coined last year.
And we've been we are grown men, brothers, who have been living together, which has been nice.
But that's also coming to an end. Yeah. The podcast will continue. it probably won't be as regular. There's at least 3 more episodes planned with other people, and then I will take a little break. It just basically depends on my work commitments. As JNT said, stay tuned.
Yeah.
And I will throw this out there. I know there's a lot of people who listen to the podcast who are podcasters themselves, and some have said they want to come on not. And indeed, if they're not if you've got something you really want to talk about, Doctor Who wise, and you've got
Doctor Who wise,
yeah. I don't want
maybe let's have a live phone and let's just any issues you're having professionally or personally.
No, what I'm saying is, if there's anybody that wants to talk about Doctor Who spin-offs and come and do an episode, then drop me a line and you're more than welcome to come on. As long as you've got a microphone, some headphones and an internet connection, then you're more than welcome. But that depends on my schedule, because I'm quite a busy boy too.
Yeah.
But so we will continue, but not in this guise and probably not as regularly. Next time, we're going to do something that we've not done on this podcast before. It will be me and Mark from On the Time Lash again.
Yes.
And we are looking at the musical careers of Doctor Who stars.
I will look forward to listening to that.
And that's a podcast that could last 10 minutes or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that not Christopher Eccleston, based on the fact that Peter Capaldi released an album, we just got talking about the various people that had musical careers, and we thought, fuck it, let's have a go. So that'll probably be out early February, and then beyond that, there's an episode looking at Death Comes to Time, for instance, that's coming up, and one looking at Downtime, which has been in my edit folder for a long time. But until next time, I've been Dylan.
I have been Jack.
Stay tuned, expect the unexpected. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Too hot for TV.
Who was revealed to be a pig possessed by the Hornet's queen.
Sorry. Sorry. Please say that again.
The Doctor is given shelter by the nuns and seeks an audience with the Mother Superior, who's revealed to be a pig.
Shall I leave the room?
Maybe.
Just shout me when you're done.
Okay.